Now that we have successfully installed Drupal to one server, and then we have run our page, that is local/workshop, then we have this interface from the last video. Basically, there are two types of installation. We have the standard installation and we have the minimal installation. The standard installation comes with some pre-configured modules, and in most cases, this is the module you would want to use, as this is the profile you would want to use for most of your projects. But supposing you are building a very small project, or you know how to do things very well, then you can always start with minimal module. Now, for the purpose of this training, we are going to start with standard modules. That is the standard profile. We have most of the modules that we would be needing installed. So let's get started. Let's save this and continue. Now that we have saved that, we have another page on the screen. This is the language that we want our Drupal website to be. Drupal supports localization. It also supports internalization. It allows you to add as many as possible languages to your website. That means people can view your website in Arabic language. They can also view your website in French language. In the French language, they can also view your website in any language you choose, in as much as you install the module. But in our own case, we have just English version for our website. To add more languages to your Drupal website, you can follow this link, and this link will take you to the Drupal website, where you can download other modules that are necessary for other languages, and you will read a lot of documentations about that. This is readily available on the drupal.org website. Now let's save this and continue with English language. If we save this, then we now on this interface we are asked to type in the database name for which we want to link our website to. For every website you build, you are definitely going to need a database, so that all the information on your website will be saved in the database. Drupal helps you with creating all the tables that are needed within the database. And then in this case, all you need to do is just to create the database itself. Don't worry on how to create the tables that are located within the database name. Now, for us to create a database, all you need to do now is to create a new tab. Let's open a new tab, and we type in localhost. Localhost. We all know localhost. That localhost is basically the directory of our one server. Now, to create a database, we need to simply go to phpMyAdmin. That is localhost/phpMyAdmin. Now, let's type that in and click enter. If you click enter, this is what you should have. This. You are asked to log into the database. By default, whenever you install one server, your database, your MySQL username is root, and there is no password for it by default. Your MySQL username is root, ROOT, while the password is nothing. You don't have a password for it. Now let's save that. Now let's go. Now we have our interface that shows you everything about phpMyAdmin. What we want to do here is we want to add a new database for our website. You can add as many as possible databases. Now let's click on database.
It's now 7 a.m.
On my own PC, I have so many databases that I've worked on. I have a lot of them. So you will always have the list of all the database you have on your system here. We want to create a new database, and I'll call the database. In your own case, you can choose the database. You can create the database workshop. But to avoid conflict on my own system, I'm going to call this database workshop 1. You should choose workshop. It's okay. Then collation. Usually you can always leave this collation as it is. It will use the default, but it is advisable that you change the collation to UTF-8 general CI. If you check the list that are available here. We have UTF-8 General CI. So choose UTF-8 General CI and create the database. Good. We have created a database, but we haven't created any table. You don't need to worry about creating tables in Drupal. Drupal will automatically create all the needed tables for you. Just ignore this. Once you have created the database name, that's all you need. Now you need to go back to your your Drupal tab where we left earlier, and then you are asked to type in the database name. The database name for your own would be workshop, but for my own case, it is workshop 1. Now, the database username, as I mentioned earlier, is root. Database username is always root, except if you change it. But by default, you have the username to be root. Then password is empty. You don't need any password for your MySQL. That's all you need. The advanced option is on fat or advanced. You wouldn't be needing it for the next few months that you'll be running Drupal. But if you have any question on this, please let us know in the forum. After giving all the necessary parameters here, let's save this and continue to see the next thing. Okay, this is still saving. That is, this is doing two things at the same time. This is saving the Drupal application, and at the same time it is also creating the necessary tables in the database, so that by the time all these are complete, if we go back to the database, we will realize that many tables have been created within the database. Let's watch. Good. Now this is installing some modules. Some modules will come along when you install your Drupal the first time. We have to wait patiently for these modules to install. These are automatic. All you need to do is to rest your back, and watch. Okay, so we are saying this is 43%. Depending on how fast your system is, yours might be slower than this, or it might even be faster than this. So some of the modules that are being installed are taxonomy module. Another one is the image module. Which other one? The menu module. All of these shall be explained as we go on in the training. Overlay module. If you had installed the minimal version of Drupal instead of the standard one, which we did, some of these modules will not be added. So that is why it is good for you to always use the standard configuration. Okay, this is almost done, 93%. And then there you go. Now we are on the configuration page. This is asking us to configure the basic information of our website. What is the name of your website? The name of the website that you want to create. So the name of my website is going to be Web Development Training, and the site email address. The site email address is basically the email address that people would see if your site sends an email to someone. So basically, it is usually in the form of info at repowermedia.com, and then you use whatever site name you feel like. Now, the site maintenance account. For every Drupal account you create, there is a user one account. The user one account is the major and the most important user on your website. The user one account can do anything on the website. The user one account can crash your website, can delete your website, it can do anything about your website. So I'm going to create a new user. I'm going to call the user admin or admin, and then the email address is going to be the email address for this user and not for the website itself. So this should be your own user, since you are the main admin. Then you choose a strong password. You also you confirm the password. The default country of your server, this should be your country, which is Nigeria. Then you set your time zone to be Africa, and look for the suitable time zone for your region. Usually, I would choose Lagos. I'm not sure this is our own Lagos, anyways. It's also very good to check for updates automatically, so that whenever there's a new update from Drupal, you can always have these some of the modules updated automatically. You can also receive emails for notification that hello, there is a new update for your Drupal website, things like that. If you don't want them, you can disable them and save and continue. So after this, we hope that our website will be standard, will be up and running now. Let's see. Great. Drupal installation complete. That means we now have a new website set up. All you need to do is to click here to visit your new website. Let's do that. Interesting. We have created a whole bunch of websites without writing a single piece of code. In the next video, we are going to show you some of the interesting things that comes with Drupal.